Hey everybody, how's it going? Me D. Just a couple of things to roll off to you that's kind of interesting that happened to Three Black Geeks, and I just felt like I had to feel like got to kind of mention it just for people that want to get into what we're doing, and for people to know how this process goes. When we go to any convention, at least in the last two and a half years, we made it our deal to be press. We wanted to be a part of the press. Now, when you're a part of the press, you have to fall in whatever the convention's guidelines of press is. Now, I know a lot of people that do this. Y'all, there are a lot of groups. I know there's a lot of guys that want to do stuff together, girls that want to do stuff together, that want to have their own group. You have to have a presence. Period. Three Black Geeks, when we started this, we wanted to do YouTube. When we started this, we wanted to do this big old thing, and we realized that we really quickly, as you see, as your niggas in a car, we ain't got funds like that. And most of the people that you see that do this don't have funds like that either. And I say most of, because most of people that are interested in groups like us are interested in any type of media outlet that isn't for the mainstream, which is the deal. When you do this, you're independent. You're not being controlled by no corporation. You're not being told by nobody to do whatever. You're independent. Now, I need to make a note of that, independent. And that's important when you're a person trying to get into a convention. That's important to know. You're independent, okay? You're doing everything. Everything comes out your pocket. You put hours into this. You have to balance family. You have to balance your personal life. You have to. And for some of us in the last few years, Three Black Geeks has picked up the pace we had to. There are people that work tirelessly 8 to 12 hours doing this shit, not getting paid for it. And so it's hard to do this work. So we realized that wasn't going to get us nowhere just doing YouTube. So that's when we did podcasts, and I guarantee you that's how you know us, and that's how you seeing me talk right now. That was our way in, and we had to build around that. We had to build a website. We had to build ourselves a presence on not only Facebook, regardless of what you think. And I'm gonna say this real for everybody, to avoid a lot of shit for you. Yes, if you don't like social media, that will hurt you, because nobody just travels around and links and all. You have to. That is essential. If you are a person that's trying to get in this and you're not internet savvy, motherfucker, you better get internet savvy real quick. You better get social media savvy real quick. Now, you can do it your own way, and some people work out that way because either they got money to help them out, or just real talk, you're a very popular person and you can really just go off the name of who you are. And I notice for a lot of people, that's a lot easier for them. Just because I know some people they were popular in high school, they were popular in college, and they either did a radio show, or they were known at college, and they got known that way, and they had a lot of people, and they had connections and all that. It's all about networking. And despite what you think, you have to have Facebook, you have to have Twitter, you have to. Those are the two things you have to have. You want to get Snapchat, IG, all the rest of that is okay if you want to, if it's necessary for you, yes. But you can't live on that. You can't live on likes. You can't live on likes. You can't live on subscribes. You can't. You just simply can't. So you simply can't. But you have to find other ways of doing it and other ways of branching off. And I can go for about minutes on that. But we had to build up ourselves to get where we're at. We're talking, oh man, we're talking almost close to hours, like almost 200 plus hours of us just yakking in the last 4 years to get where we're at, okay? And that's no money, that's not giving a show. D, that, let me just get real. It's like nobody knows how, what I went through personally after I did that. We did a bomb ass panel. Nobody knows what I went through personally. Nobody knows what's going on with Chris when we did that one podcast. Nobody knows what's going on with DJ Sue when he's going on. Nobody knows that. And that's hours of love going into your work with zero money. And you have to have love. I'm telling you that right now. You have to have love. If you don't have love of what you're doing, there's no point of you doing it. If you're doing it for some weekend shit, then let it be just some weekend shit. Because you can't approach these conventions. You can't approach these people that you want to be sponsored by. You can't approach these people who actually do serious podcasting every week, and you just doing this shit just every now and then. No. Because real talk, I'm gonna tell you that if Three Black Geeks, and we talked about it, but no, not now, and we're not close to that yet. But if we had the power to go ahead and say we're going to do this thing where it's our little big ass group, but it's like several other podcasts and all that, and you approach me like, yeah, this, that, and all the other, I'm like, okay, well, how many shows you got? You got X amount of shows, and you got X amount of this. I'm like, okay, what's the frequency? That's another thing. What's the frequency of it? Do you do it every week? Do you do it every other week? What's your deal? What's your deal with that? You have to be consistent in that. You know, I talk shit, and I may be known that my band podcast does not come out weekly the way it should. But fuck, at least there's some consistency. There's a show there. There's something to know that there's these block of shows that you actually did that shit. You have to have that known. You know what I'm saying? I can go on and on and on about it, like I said. But still, even I'm gonna look at you like, yo, dog, you only do this shit. Like, you only got 6 of them Jones. How long you been doing this? Really? Seem like you just want to have fun. I could make you be a guest. I'm being real with everybody. That was nasty. I'm being real with everybody. That's how it is. So, this is what goes into Otakon. We've been doing all these conventions. We did MagFest. We did. I don't think we did MagFest. We reported on MagFest, but I don't think we ever got press for them. We did AwesomeCon. We did AwesomeCon 2 years in a row now. We did New York Comic Con. We're going to do San Diego Comic Con, which is another thing. Y'all don't want to even hear the horror story that we're going through right now just to get the fuck out there. You don't even want to know the horror story. And y'all probably not going to hear it. Even if we do, that means that we got over it. And I'll tell you something. Black people, when we get over stuff, we can make it a grand-ass story. Anyway, but we have done all that. So we approached Otakon. We was like, hey, man, let's go to Otakon. It's that last year in Baltimore. DJ Stu and CJ themselves, they are vets of that convention. Me personally, this will be my first time going there. I have been to the Baltimore Convention Center. I know who the Ice Cold Water Man is. Met him in real life. I think I took a picture with the nigga. I know him. You know, I know the little atmosphere of it. I never been a part of it. I mean, that'd be the first year part of it. And I heard about the game room. I heard about all that. Hey, this is their last year here, man. Let's report on that. Let's make it a big deal. Make it a big deal. We go all into it. Yada yada yada. We didn't get the press. This worried us because we were like, we have a website. We had a blog. No more. We don't even promote that no more. But we just said we had a website. We got a podcast that's been solidly running for the last 4 years. What the fuck did we not cover? This, that, or the other. Well, funny enough, when they told us that we just simply didn't have this, you can't just give us cosplay. That's an important thing. You just can't give us cosplay. I get that. Have you ever interviewed? Yeah, the fuck we have interviewed. We have several interviews. Actually, we just had an interview motherfucking AwesomeCon. We actually do that shit. We report. You have to. Because you are independent, you have to have these credentials. If you were like with Kotaku, if you were with IGN, if you were with even a slightly known site that probably has a little bit of buzz to it. I'm not going to say like, was it Black Star? Maybe Black Star or something like that. You know, if you have like some type of credential, maybe they'll let you write in, not even look at you. But when you're independent, you have to have your own name. You're going off of what you built. And I know, it sounds corny when we were a lot of us growing up, we got to hear, oh man, you are what you are. When you go to an interview, you got to interview, you got to present yourself and shit like that. But you kind of have to in real life. I hate to go that way with it, but you have to. You have to have something backing up saying that you are what you say you are. And why you going to get free tickets to this motherfucker for 3 straight days. And you just sitting there enjoying yourself, not reporting on it. Now, I get that shit. What pissed us off was the fact that 3 Black Geeks have, and CJ when CJ gets mad, and y'all can't tell, like, yeah, I mean, why you hear slightly annoyed CJ, you hear befuddled CJ, which is funny, which is rare. Rare. Get out your motherfucking great balls on that one and throw it at him, man. Make sure you get it, because when Chris, like, when he's in that mode, it's funny. But Chris, the reason why I love the fact that I found, not only these are my 3 friends, but these are 3 guys that have motivation when I don't have it. And I hope they say the same thing about, all 3 of us, we say about each other. We all feed off each other in a certain way. And one thing that me and Chris I had to get Chris in the mode of getting consistent, and now he's getting me or whatever. Good, great. That's actually excellent. But with what happened? But with Chris, when he has like a chip on his shoulder, and it's always imaginary, and people that know him, it's always imaginary. It's not a big deal. Chris is like, no, no, no. It's like that Pete and Pete episode with the white girl. She was like, why? Only 6 of you would get that. But like, why? Yeah, it's sort of like that. Like, Chris is like, no, what the fuck is that? So I was telling that nigga, like, nah, approach the motherfuckers. And I'm over here, over here acting like, yeah, son, I'm just buzzing in his ear like that motherfucker. Like, yeah, nigga, you know what you do? You should drop it on them niggas, man. Real, man. These niggas ain't ready for it done. New York. Anyway, Chris fired back several emails back over to Otakon, basically saying, look. And this is not me knocking Otakon, but the way they overlooked us, it pisses me off, because there's probably several other people that are in our same predicament that I want to get up that got overlooked over something basic like this. Like, no, fucking look at our credentials. Look what the fuck we did. And bam, we got it. We're in. We're going to Otakon at their final year here in Baltimore. And we're going to be fucking reporting. We're going to report our ass off of it because we want to. We wanted to. We didn't got to this point where we have to. Where if we're going there, fuck it. You're learning. We're going to do something there, motherfucker. And if it's, and to Otakon, if it's a shit convention, we're going to say it, because we're going to be real. We're going to be honest. We're 100% with everything we do. We try to have fun with everything we do. We're going to try to make this just as big as we're going to do San Diego this year. We did pretty big at New York. We did okay, actually well, in my opinion, for AwesomeCon here just recently. Like I said, we're going to pull out all the stops we can for San Diego and Otakon. Hopefully we can do the same damn thing, or at least a little bit differently, because I know for a fact DJ C won't be along on that one. But definitely we're gonna try to do what we can. But and it's not even so much to prove them wrong. It's the fact that, and it goes back to all this, basically me saying you're by yourself in this type in this thing. You're by yourself. You have nobody helping you out. You're quite literally building a business, and that's the thing that really kills me. People don't see what you're doing as a business because it doesn't bring in money. People don't see it as a feasible thing. And I get it. I certainly get it, because it doesn't cross nobody in this business. Not one time it doesn't cross our minds, how the fuck am I going to get paid off this shit? It doesn't cross our... That is only very rare, and that means that you're good standing financially. If you do any of this shit and have passion for it, and you don't go, I wish I had a constant paycheck for this shit. And for people that got sponsors, they're decent. They're doing decent. They love their work. They can grow from there. And that's the next thing for everybody. Is just, if you get sponsored, thank God. Thank God. That means at least you got some type of thing going your way. And even then, you have to maintain it. And even then, you have to maintain how much shit you're putting out. You have to probably up everything at that point. So, yeah. it's fun. Yeah, yeah. This is a fun thing to do. I love doing this. I love doing this so much so that I feel guilty that I'm not doing everything else at home. I love doing this. I really do. Um, I'll do it all. I'll do it all day. And if I didn't get paid for it, and yes, and I could breathe and not worry about anything else, I'll do it for the rest of my life. But real talk, a lot of people can't, and it burns a lot of people out. And so far, we have done very well. We have not hit that wall yet. Prayerfully, we won't. And to all my atheist friends, hopefully we won't. But however the fuck you feel. But this is a tough thing, and the way we got into Otakon is just represents how much Three Black Geeks has worked so hard to do just the little shit that we do, just the little shit that we do. So yeah, I had to tell y'all a story.